as far as this matter is concerned?
Good evening, and good evening to your cherished listeners. Yeah, rightly stated, the military acted recklessly. They acted unprofessionally. They acted brutally against innocent civilians and journalists. And I think that the act of the group that is supposed to be maintaining law and order is very condemnable, that they are now actually instilling disorder within Walewale and his environs, and to have descended that low in keeping peace and order. I think that people must call them out. The people who have ordered them to do that should feel ashamed, and that the ministry responsible for defense would have to thoroughly investigate the matter and let the perpetrators of this barbaric act being brought to book.
What really happened? What has the journalists told you, and what did the journalists do to warrant this assault?
Well, so these are journalists who went into a drugstore to buy drugs. He came out of the drugstore only to be confronted by the military. They asked, who is the owner of this motorbike? That was the question. The journalist, in an attempt to answer, even before he could answer, he was whipped on the back. Then, even he tried to identify himself as a journalist. One of them retorted, and so what? So clearly, it's a scheme. It was designed to brutalize every single person on site. Aside that, there were 3 vehicles. They were parked by the road. You know what they did? They used knives and punctured these particular vehicles, making them immobile again. That is indiscipline. That is criminal. Motorbikes were parked. They pushed those motorbikes in the gutters. That is clearly military personnel either acting on prejudice, running amok, and actually marauding in town, trying to unleash violence on every single person they see. And I think that we should not be running a country like this. This is a democratic country. We are ruled by the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And if, in their estimation, any person had even broken a law or was about to break the law, they have the might and power to arrest that person and then send the person to wherever they think they have to send for the person to serve the full rigor of the law. But it clearly are not you, and you are running amok and destroying and beating people, assaulting people. That should not be tolerated. And I think that this is the lowest we can get in our democracy.
And where is the journalist now as we speak?
Well, the journalist was detained. Actually, when he was recognized as a journalist, he was detained for close to 4 hours. They took his phone to be sure that he did not take a recording of whatever they were doing. They said of his harm, the harm that has been caused to him, which he had shared with his superiors in Accra. They deleted those pictures. Someone called them, supposed to say that they had not done well by treating him that way, and that he should take their apology.
Doc, I'm losing you. I'll be glad if you can reposition. I'm gradually losing you.
Is it better now?
No, it's not. It's not. The line is a bit dodgy. Hello, Dr. Kabiru. Hello, Dr. Kabiru. I'm afraid the reception to Dr. Kabiru Tiah is not the best. I'll try and get my producers to raise him back on the telephone to speak to him on this matter. He's issued a statement just before we came on air, condemning an assault on a journalist and a number of civilians at Walewale by allegedly military personnel stationed in that area. According to him in the statement, the journalist was detained for close to 4 hours by this military personnel, and then civilians were also attacking vehicles. And there is, I'm told, Dr. Kabiru is back on the line. Doc, let's see if this time around the line is stable. So you were saying that they detained this journalist close to 4 hours.
Yeah, so they detained the journalist for about 4 hours. They took his phone to assess whether or not he had taken any recording of their brutality and unrefined atrocities against the people. They found pictures of he taking pictures of the assault because he was assaulted heavily on the back. He has some bruises, some injuries on the back. So those pictures were taken and he sent them to his superiors in Accra. They made sure that he deleted. In fact, as a matter of fact, they reset his phone into factory settings. So every data the journalists had gotten was destroyed. And they only could call their superior and their superior getting back to him to say that they were sorry for what had happened. And I'm saying that is just only the journalist. Because he's a journalist, this is what they could say to him. But the scores of civilians that they brutalized in town, without even caring whether or not they are persons of good, of their stations in life are some people who matter in the country. And those people, they have not even reached out to any of them. The question is, what would have occasioned you to go into town and beat people? What probably is the justification? The journalist is just one person that you feel that because of the voice he has, this issue would get national attention. But what about the civilians in town? What have they done? You see, and that is what is mind-boggling, because you would expect that an action would have occasioned such an reaction. But what was the action? Nothing. Because they are just acting on some prejudice. I don't think that this is the way we want to go. And I think, again, as I stated, is a we can get. The military, their commander who authorized that unlawful exercise would have to, how he said, in shame. And I think that the minister responsible for defense would have, who is also the minister for finance, would have to make sure that they take responsibility for these atrocities.
We understand this is not the first time the same journalist has been assaulted.
Right in February, this journalist, together with the reporter for Asasi FM, and again, scores of people in town were assaulted the same way by the military, because they had taken information that a vehicle, even in that time, the vehicle had developed an electrical fault and got bent. They assumed that it is part of the routine, attack of buses on the Bolgatanga-Tamale route. And they came without any intelligence, starting to beat people. And these journalists going there to ascertain what had happened. That day, they had gone there to ascertain what happened. They were beaten as well. And it is becoming way too many. And I said, look, we shouldn't be doing this. We should not just be acting because we feel like the only way to ensure discipline is to be indisciplined. The military cannot be acting the way they are acting because they are professionals. Even if citizens are behaving in an order that is not in consonance with the rules of the country, they'll have to ensure professionalism and ensure that the right thing is that. But you see, the risk is that once they continue to do that, there will be a breakdown of civilian-military relationship. There's going to be lack of cooperation. The military may end up being targeted by the civilians. And I don't think we will need to get that way. We saw what happened to the military Major Mahama, someone who was there to even ensure peace and security. He was targeted by the civilians. We don't want that to happen to the military. The military are providing us good security, but the extent that they are being disorderly, they are being reckless and unprofessional, they are actually drifting towards a situation where there will be civilian-military tension in the Walewale and the Northeast region at large.
As a member of parliament, what, apart from issuing a statement and speaking on it, what other steps are you taking?
Well, so clearly what the persons have done is actionable in civil. There's civil liability to it. And I'm urging all those people involved, if they want to take an action which is of the civil nature, they would have, and I'll give them our fullest support and cooperation to ensure that they are able to ventilate their rights under the laws of the country. Secondly, I will be petitioning. In fact, when Parliament resumes next week, I will file an urgent question. I will ask the minister responsible for defense to come and explain, to give cause why those people should not be relieved of their job. And I think that the minister would have to provide an answer, and if he provides an answer to Parliament, that is the Republic he's providing an answer to, and that would probably be the next move. If any of these things should fail, we will still petition the ministry for parliamentary inquiry. And I think that the minister, the speaker will be so minded, because we have oversight responsibility. I am accountable to the people of Walewale and the people of Ghana, and if there's anything happening by way of excesses of power by by any organ of government, we have the responsibility of calling them out and ensuring that they live within the dictates of the law. And once the Speaker is minded about this particular fact, I'm sure the Speaker will be mindful to admit it so that the parliamentary inquiry will go on.
Thank you very much for your time. Dr. Kabiru Mahama, Member of Parliament for the Walewale constituency in the Northeast region. This is Eyewitness News coming